will now watch a video address by Mr. Robert Hockett, Edward Cornell Professor of Law and Finance at Cornell University. Professor Hockett will explain what development banks can do to contribute to the Green New Deal. Take a look.
Hello all, thank you so much for letting me take part remotely in this very important conference. I've been asked to say a little bit about the Green New Deal here in the US and the role that a public investment institution, a public investment bank, can play in helping to make that succeed. So first, on the Green New Deal itself, as the name suggests, we're trying on the one hand to replicate the original New Deal, by which we mean we want to transform the entirety of America's industrial base and infrastructural base. It's now 30 to 40 to 50 years out of date, all very old equipment and the like. That's very environmentally unfriendly, also very inefficient, and it tends to make our economy rather slow and tends to keep employment rates suppressed. So the idea behind the Green New Deal is to transform entirely that infrastructural and industrial base, which will then have the effect of both bringing us up to date with a state-of-the-art economy and also rendering us compatible with environmental sustainability and a habitable planet. So that's the basic idea behind the Green New Deal. What that involves in turn is massive public investment in infrastructural projects and reindustrialization projects. These are the kinds of nationally scaled projects that no individual firm and no individual industry is capable on its own of succeeding with. It requires, in other words, national action. It's a national mobilization, just like the original New Deal, and so it requires national action. And in this case, that, of course, means a great deal of national investment, public investment. That takes us, of course, to the role of a public investment institution, like a public investment bank. The idea here is that you need some sort of central coordinating body that is able to ensure that the industrial transformation and infrastructural transformation that will occur economy-wide occurs, again, in a coherent manner, so that you don't have some aspects of the project operating at sort of cross purposes with other aspects of the project. So we need to mobilize funding, and then we also need to allocate and direct funding in coherent manners. And that is the kind of task, of course, for which a public investment institution is ideally suited. Finally, when it comes to specific proposals, specific ideas for a public investment institution of this type in the US, there are many actually now before Congress. There are at least 5 or 6 concrete proposals being considered by members of the US Congress. They all have certain things in common, meaning in turn, I think that whichever one gets through or whatever combination of various possibilities comes through is going to be exactly what we needed. Essentially, they are up to scale. We're talking about $3 trillion or greater public investments. And again, we're talking about coordinating across regions of the country and across industries. So one or another of these proposals is going to be adopted. And this time next year, we should have a very large, massive indeed, public investment institution pursuing the Green New Deal. And so I hope to have really wonderful news to report to you next time we do this. In the meanwhile, thank you so much again for letting me report on this to you. And please know how much inspiration you're affording us over here in the US. Thanks again.